Any concerns that Yankee fans had coming into this season, they all, in my opinion, reared their ugly head on opening day on Monday. Now, me and my girlfriend and brother were there at opening day, and the weather was beautiful. The opening ceremonies were beautiful. Seeing Joe Torre throw out the first pitch, the American flag being draped across the outfield in Yankee Stadium, just the atmosphere, the fans. There was hope coming in. There were the whole atmosphere. Nothing like Yankees opening day at Yankee Stadium. It was just amazing. The weather was beautiful, and that's really all that was beautiful. The Yankees managed 3 hits, and one of those 3 hits was from a man that has not played baseball, actual regular season baseball, in a year and a half. That's how bad this offense was. Gardner hits the home run, gets him at 5-1. You think they're going to get something going there. They don't. And Drew Hutchison was made to look like Nolan Ryan against the Bronx Bombers. Now, I picked them to go 86-76 and finish 3rd. I based that upon, hey, if they can get on a little run, if they can win a majority of their games against the Rays, who are god-awful, and in my opinion, they have to go at least 13-5 against the Rays, and they can get quality stuff from Tanaka and Pineda, the bullpen can win them a few games, they'll be all right. And plus, it's the Yankees. And until the Yankees have a year where they go under 500, which they have not had a sub-500 season since 1993, we're in 2015, folks. Until that happens, I'm not picking the Yankees to finish under 500. A lot of people picked them to finish under 500 last year. And they didn't. They won 84 games. And Girardi has done a lot with a little in the last 2 years. So I give him that. Plus, I'm a Yankee fan. So I gave him the 86 wins. But you look at what happened on Monday, and you could reverse that into an 86 loss team. They looked awful. And I know people, when I said Beltran looked old, oh, come on. What game were you watching? What game was I watching? What game were you watching? I understand that Beltran hit that long fly ball to the wall after the Gardner home run. But other than that, Beltran's swings looked old. Teixeira looked awful. Gregorius bobbled the first ball he got. And he tries to steal 3rd, down 5 in the 8th inning. What are you doing? Ellsbury provided nothing. McCann cannot hit out of the shift if his life depended on it. And Tanaka wasn't good. Chalk that up, you have a lifeless Yankee loss. And that's what's going to happen. If you do not have, if Tanaka is not the guy that they paid him the money to be, and if he's not even 50%, then they are done. And you looked at it, I was sitting in the bleachers, and I said to myself, maybe he should have had the Tommy John surgery. They were not making the playoffs last year. I don't know if it was a pride thing. They thought they could make it one last year with Jeter. Well, you know what? I'm sorry, but they screwed up. Tanaka should have had the Tommy John surgery last year. You could tell he's just not right. Yeah, it was great in spring training, but that's against, a lot of the time, against the guys that you're not going to see in the big leagues. You got to figure, teams put their teams up in split squads, and you don't know who Tanaka's pitching against in spring training. Regular season, listen, he's got to face that Blue Jay lineup a lot. That's in that division. That's a good lineup. And he didn't do too good. Chase Headley, don't even get me started. The Boo Birds were out often and early for him, as they should be. I think Greg Nettles in his present state would have played better third base than Chase Utley did. He was god-awful. And didn't do anything with the bat. But he's getting paid a boatload of money to spite A-Rod. That's where that contract came from. If you, on paper, if you look at the Yankees roster and their starting nine, and you rewind the clocks and you make it 2009, this is a 95-96 win team. If you had Beltran from 5 years ago, Teixeira from 5 years ago, Sabathia from 5 years ago, hell, Tanaka from a year ago, you got a 95-96 win team. Ellsbury from 5 years ago, you don't have that. Steven Drew from 5 years ago, you don't have that. Time has passed a lot of these guys by. And nobody beats Father Time. Plus, some guys just, they have a couple of good years and that's it. I don't think we'll ever see Steven Drew like we used to with Boston. The Yankees were exposed on Monday night with a lot of holes. And if Pineda goes out, and I think either way, if Pineda goes out and pitches well, okay. If he pitches bad, oof. But the wild card here is CC Sabathia. You got to have Sabathia. He could be something. I know he's not going to be the CC Sabathia of old, but he has to give you at least something. He has to win you at least 10 games. And I don't think it's going to happen. And if he gets shelled on Thursday night, that's not good. Because Tanaka didn't look sharp. And I know, don't panic for a start, but just to me, it sounds too gory not to sound panicky about. Has the arm trouble last year, didn't get Tommy John surgery, comes out right before the season starts. Don't be surprised if my velocity's down. And then he goes out, and I know Headley made the big error, and they scored 5 of their 6 runs in one inning, but it looked bad. And this was not weather. It wasn't like it was 40 degrees and drizzling and overcast on Monday. It was beautiful, 68 degrees. So I don't want to hear that. And he threw a lot of pitches. A lot of pitches. Fast forward, Mets. Click off yes, turn on SNY. Mets look pretty good. Got clutch hits when they needed to. Colon pitched great. The Mets could take this city for this year. I think it'll be a long road to overtake this city as a whole because the Yankees have had such great success since '94. But I think the Mets are in the right direction. Yankees, unfortunately, are not.